Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we're going to show you how to change out the GE Dryer Cycling Thermostat. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new cycling thermostat. The cycling thermostat controls the heat in the dryer. The main reason you'd be changing it out is if it's failed and you're not getting any heat, or the contacts inside are stuck together and it's getting too hot. In order to change the part, we have to take the dryer apart. First thing we're going to do is open up the door and use the Phillips screwdriver to take out the screws that hold the top panel on. Once you have the screws out, we can close the door and go around back. Now that we're around back, we're going to use the corner nut driver to take out the screws that hold on the access panel. Once you have the screws out, we're just going to lift it up and take the tabs out of the control panel. Then we're going to use a small flathead screwdriver to help take the grounding connection off. Once you have the wire off, you can set it aside. Once you have the access panel out of the way, we're going to use a 1/4" nut driver to remove the screw on each end that holds the control panel to the top. To remove the control panel, there's some tabs on each side and across the front here. We're just going to pull back on it to release it. Once you have them released, we're just going to rotate the control panel over and carefully set it down so we can remove all the wires. Now that we have the control panel out of the way, we have to take off most of the wires and separate the wire harnesses on each side. So you want to take some pictures or write down where all these wires go, so when you put it back together you don't have any problems. We're going to start up here at the start switch. We're going to remove these 2 wires with the double wires coming to them. We're going to do the double red first. If you have to, you can use a small flathead screwdriver to help lift them off. And then we're going to use a couple needle nose pliers to carefully separate the 2 terminals. They're on there a little tight, so you want to be careful. Once you have them separated, we're going to take the one that has the extra terminal tab on it and push it back onto the start switch. Once you have that wire back on, we can take off the other one. Once you have them off, we don't have to plug anything back onto the start switch. We just have to separate them. Now we can remove the wires off the selector switch. We're not going to take them all off. We're just going to take off the blue, the orange, and the yellow. The center orange can stay there. You can use a small flathead screwdriver to help pop them off if they're tight. Now we can take the wires off the timer. On this one, we just have to remove the purple, the red, and the double yellow. Now we can take the wires off the resistor and the buzzer. You've got the tan one on this side and the white one on the other side, and the black and the red on the buzzer. Now you can take the control panel off and set it aside. Now that we have the control panel out of the way, we can put the 2 wire harnesses underneath. We have to take off the little wire holder. All you have to do is untwist it and pull the wire harness out, and then set it out of the way. We can do the other side, same way. Untwist the holder and pull the wires out and get them out of the way. Once you have the wires out of the way, we have to take off the covers. We're going to use a 1/4 nut driver to take out the screws. Then lift the cover out. Then we're going to carefully feed the wire harness down through the hole so it's out of the way. Once you have that side done, we can do the one on the other side. Then we can use the Phillips screwdriver to take out the 2 screws to hold the top on. Now we're back around front. We're going to take the top off. There's a lip in the back that we have to push back on. But first we have to lift up and then slide it back. Once you have it free, you can lift it off and set it aside. Now that we have the top off, we're going to take the front panel off. We're going to use the 1/4 nut driver to take out the 2 screws. Once you have the 2 screws out, we're just going to lift up on the drum a little bit and then pull the panel out. We're not going to pull it out all the way. Once you have the panel forward, you can reach down and disconnect the door switch wiring harness. You just have to get this little cover out of the way. So we're going to pull it out of this tab right here and swing it around. Once you have the cover out of the way, we can remove the wiring harness that goes to the door switch. There's a little locking tab on the top. If you have to, you can use a little flathead screwdriver to press on it, pull it off. Once you have it unplugged, you can let the cover go, and we can lift the front panel off. There's 3 little tabs at the bottom. You just have to lift it off. Once you have it off, you can set it aside. Now we have to take the drum out, so we're going to reach in and take the belt off of the idler. You're going to grab the idler pulley with your right hand and pull it down towards the base of the machine, and then unhook the belt from the motor pulley. Now that you have the belt off, we can lift the drum out. Just have to guide it out through these little cutouts. We're going to use the belt to lift it up and guide it out. Once you have it out, you can set it aside. Now that we have the drum out of the way, we have access to the cycling thermostat. It's mounted right here on the heating element on the left-hand side. There's also this panel that covers it up. We're going to take this off so you can see, but you don't have to take yours off. Now we can remove the wires from the cycling thermostat. There's 2 larger wires front and back and 2 smaller ones in the middle. The front wire has 2 tan or brown wires, and the back one has blue, and the smaller middle ones have blue. You can use a small flathead screwdriver to reach in and help take them off. Once you have them off, we can reach in with the ratchet with a 1/4 inch socket to take out the screw. If you drop the screw, just pick it up off the bottom. Then we can take the cycling thermostat off the housing, just held in on the other side by a tab. So you just have to lift up and pull it out. Once you have it free, you can pull it out of the dryer. Here's the old cycling thermostat next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at appliancepartspros.com. In order to put the new cycling thermostat in, it was a little tight getting the back wire off, so we're just going to pull the wires out and put them on first. So we had the large blue in the back, and then the 2 smaller blues in the center. And the double tan in the front. I'm going to guide it in, put it into the lip right here. Once you have it in place, we can use the ratchet and the 1/4-inch socket to put in the screw. Once you have the screw tightened down, we can put the rest of the dryer back together. To put the drum back in, we're just going to pick it up by the belt and guide it back through the cutouts in the cabinet. And then we have to look in here and make sure that the shaft goes into the receptacle. Once you have the drum in, you just want to make sure that the belt is on the wear mark here, and you want to make sure that the ribs are towards the drum. Now that we have the drum in, we're going to reach in and put the belt on. Just want to reach in and pull the idler pulley down to the floor, and then hook the belt over the motor pulley, and then make sure it goes over the top of the idler pulley. Once you have it on, we can put the front panel back on. All you have to do is set it down onto the 3 little mounting tabs. Once you have it on, we can reach down and reconnect the door switch wiring harness. We're just going to pull the tab out and pull it out of the way. And grab the wiring harness and plug it in. And we'll let the cover go back over and put the tab in there. As you're lifting it up, you want to lift up on the drum so it goes onto the front bulkhead. And then you have to make sure that these tabs go into the slots on each side. Once you have it in place on both sides, we can use a 1/4-inch nut driver to put in the screws. Once you have the front panel on, we can put the top back on. To put the top back on, you want to make sure none of the wires are going to get pinched when you put it on. And then you want to make sure that the lip right here goes underneath the lip right here. And then you're going to push it forward so the lip catches underneath. And then the little tabs go up into the top and push it forward so the front screw holes are lined up. Once you have the top in place, we're going to pull the wires up so they don't get caught. Just want to carefully pull them through on each side. Once you have them through, we're going to use the Phillips screwdriver to put in the screws in the front and the back. We're going to put the back ones in kind of loose, and then go put the front ones in, and then come back and tighten the back ones down. It makes it easier to get all the screw holes aligned. Once you have the ones in the back started, we can come around the front, open up the door. Use the Phillips screwdriver to put in the front screws. Once you have the front ones in, we can close the door and tighten up the ones in the back. To put the covers back on, just want to slide the tabs into the cabinet. Then we can use the 1/4-inch nut driver to put in the screws. The other side goes on the same way. Now we can route the wires through the holders. All you have to do is grab the wires, pull them up, put them through the little holder, and then twist it to lock it in place. Now we can put the control panel back on and all the wires. First we're going to start with the buzzer that had the red wire from the start switch and the black wire from the timer. And then we had the resistor, which had the white wire and the tan wire on it. So we're going to grab the white wire from the timer. And the tan wire from the wiring harness. Once you have those on, we can connect the wires to the timer. First, we're going to hook up the double yellow here. All you have to do is plug it in. And then we have the red one on the top, but you want to make sure it's the larger diameter wire. And then we had the purple one from the other side, the one with only one terminal. Just want to push that on. Once you have those on, we can go to the selector switch. For the selector switch, we're going to take the yellow one, put it down on the bottom. And the orange one goes next to it. And the blue one in the back. Then we can connect the wires to the start switch. The upper one has the double red on it, so we're just going to put the second red wire on there. Then we're going to grab the purple wire that has the double terminal on it and put it on there. And then we can grab the brown wire and put that on the second terminal. Once you have all the wires reconnected, we can lift the console up and put it in place. There's just the tabs that go around the outside, and then the two on the ends that slide in and lock in. Once you have it in place, we can use the quarter-inch nut driver to put in the screws. Now that we have the control panel mounted, we can put the access panel on. First, we're going to hook up the grounding wire. All you have to do is hook it up to the terminal. Then we're going to lift it up so the tabs go into the little opening there. Once you have it in place, we can use the quarter-inch nut driver to put in the screws. Once you have the dryer put back together, you can plug it in and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.